Hey guys, it's me, Seren, back with another video. Today's hidden figure is going to be someone that was actually suggested to me on Instagram. One of you tagged me in a post about this woman, Bessie Stringfield. So if you're watching this video, thank you to whoever that was, because I ended up reading about her and I said I have to do a hidden figures feature on this woman. So Bessie Stringfield, born February 9th, 1911 and died in February 1993, was nicknamed the Motorcycle Queen of Miami, and she was the first Black American woman to ride across the United States solo on a motorcycle, right? The Motorcycle Queen. And she was also known for serving as one of a very few motorcycle dispatch riders during World War II, serving in the United States military. So I'm going to read you guys a little bit about her life, as always, and then I'm going to get into some quotes. So I think this woman is super interesting. I've never ridden on a motorcycle because I find them to be terrifying two-wheeled vehicles of death, but I do think that they are cool and awesome, and I have like a ton of respect for motorcycle riders because to me they're just terrifying. Like I love Biker Boys, which I love that movie Biker Boys. If you have not seen Biker Boys, you should really watch it because I feel like Biker Boys got this like, I know we're like off on a tangent, but I feel like Biker Boys got this like really weird, undeserved rep as this like shitty B movie or whatever. But Biker Boys is actually a really interesting movie about Black bike culture, which I think really doesn't get enough shine, and we don't really know too much about Black bike culture. And it had Lawrence Fishburne and Derek Luke and Orlando Jones and Megan Good, you know, all these actors and actresses that you probably know and like, what's his name? What's his name from, dang, I was just watching him in Mr. Robot. And he was in Roll Bounce. What is his name? I can't think of his name, but I know one of you will know his name. Wow, I'm totally blanking out on his name. Light skin with the big afro. Blanking out on his name, but I know you guys will know who he is. Wow. So, but yeah, if you haven't seen Biker Boys, I think we even did a Bees Bake of Biker Boys, but we couldn't leave it up because of the copyright infringement issues, as always. But, you know, please look into, you know, more on Black bike culture. Maybe if you guys are interested, maybe I'll do a video on it. Fun fact, my mom and my stepfather, I always say my parents, so my mom and my stepfather met at Black Bike Week, which is held every year in Myrtle Beach, Memorial Day week, the week of Memorial Day. That is where my mom and my stepdad met 20 years ago. So I have nothing but the utmost respect for, you know, Black bike culture. And again, that's something that we don't really know anything about. You know, there's like all these subsets of Black culture, of you know, alternative culture, and you know, Black people have our hands in everything. So I just love hearing these kind of stories, and I'm really pleased to bring you guys this hidden figure. So let's go ahead and get into it. Bessie Stringfield, credited with breaking down barriers for both women and Black American motorcyclists, Stringfield was inducted into the Motorcycle Hall of Fame. The award, bestowed by the American Motorcyclist Association for superior achievement by a female motorcyclist, is named in her honor. Stringfield was born in Kingston, Jamaica in 1911, and her family migrated to Boston when she was still young. Her parents died when Stringfield was 5, and she was adopted and raised by an Irish woman. At the age of 16, Stringfield taught herself. There's a whole lot. I'm noticing this trend of like being self-taught. Like, I'm teaching myself how to read. I'm teaching myself how to sing. No one wants to show me how to do it because I'm Black and a woman, so fuck it, I'll do it myself, as one of y'all put in the comments to one of the previous videos. At the age of 16, Stringfield taught herself to ride her first motorcycle, a 1928 Indian Scout, and in 1930, at the age of 19, she commenced riding across the United States. She made 7 more long-distance trips in the U.S. and eventually rode through the 48 lower states, Europe, Brazil, and Haiti on her motorcycle. During this time, she earned money from performing motorcycle stunts in carnival shows, and due to her skin color, Stringfield was often denied accommodation while traveling, so she would sleep on her motorcycle at filling stations. Due to her gender, she was also often refused prizes in flat track races that she entered because they were for men only. During World War II, Stringfield served as a civilian courier for the U.S. Army, carrying documents between domestic Army bases. She completed the rigorous training and rode her own blue 61 cubic inch Harley Davidson. During the 4 years that she worked for the Army, she crossed the United States 8 times, and she regularly encountered racism during this time, reportedly being deliberately knocked over by a white male in a pickup truck while traveling in the South. In the 1950s, Stringfield moved to Miami, Florida, where at first she was told nigger women are not allowed to ride motorcycles by the local police. After repeatedly being pulled over and harassed by officers, she visited the police captain and they went to a nearby park to prove her riding abilities. She gained the captain's respect and approval to ride and didn't have any more trouble with the police. Oh, she was a badass. Where is my movie? Where is my Bessie Stringfield movie? Where is my Flo Kennedy movie? Where? I need the answers, Sway. I need the answers. She qualified as a nurse there in Miami and founded the Iron Horse Motorcycle Club. Her skill and antics at motorcycle shows gained the attention of the local press, leading to the nickname the Negro Motorcycle Queen, which was later changed to the Motorcycle Queen of Miami, a moniker she carried for the remainder of her life. In 1990, the American Motorcycle Association paid tribute to her in their inaugural Heroes of the Harley-Davidson exhibition, as she owned 27 of their motorcycles. Stringfield died in 1993 at the age of 82 from a heart condition, having kept riding right up until the time of her death. And she was probably such an old badass, like this elderly black woman, like on her fucking Harley. She probably had the goggles and the fucking helmet with the hair. I love it. In 2000, the American Motorcycle Association created the Bessie Stringfield Memorial Award to recognize outstanding achievement by a female motorcyclist. Stringfield was inducted into the Motorcycle Hall of Fame in 2002. She married and divorced 6 times and ended up keeping the last name of her third husband, Arthur Stringfield, since she had made it famous. Oh, I love it. I love it. Bessie Stringfield. In the 1940s, the motorcycle queen of Miami broke down barriers for women and African-American motorcyclists. She completed 8 solo cross-country tours and served as a U.S. Army motorcycle dispatch rider during World War II. I'm going to read you guys a little bit more before I get into her quotes. This is just like a little blurb from this page where her quotes are. And this is on the website of the Motorcycle Museum. So again, there will be tons of links in the description box. Please check them all out if you guys want to learn a little bit more about the amazing life of Bessie Stringfield. The life and times of African-American motorcycling pioneer Bessie B. Stringfield seem like the stuff of which legends are made. In 1990, when the AMA opened the first Motorcycle Heritage Museum, Bessie was featured in its inaugural exhibit on women and motorcycling. A decade later, the AMA instituted the Bessie Stringfield Award to honor women who are leaders in motorcycling, and in 2002, she was inducted into the Motorcycle Hall of Fame. Bessie, or BB as she was known among friends, would probably be amused and yet proud of all the attention. And here is one of many quotes that I'm actually going to read you guys. Referring to her adventures and her 60 plus years of riding, she once quipped, "I was something. What I did was fun and I loved it." In interviews for Hear Me Roar, which I believe is a biography about her life. Let me make sure. Hear Me Roar. Okay, no Katy Perry. No. Hear Me Roar. I think it is. There it is. Hear Me Roar. Oh, Women, Motorcycles, and the Rapture of the Road. Hear Me Roar is a compelling book that chronicles and celebrates diverse women, past and present, who have taken to the road on their Harleys and Hondas and every bike in between as an expression of freedom and independence. Okay. Of more than 100 women featured in Hear Me Roar, the most intriguing and the one people always want to know more about is the late Bessie Stringfield. Anne Farrar, who wrote Hear Me Roar, became Bessie Stringfield's biographer as well as her friend. The author recorded and preserved Stringfield's oral history and was the first to introduce Bessie to a worldwide audience in the 1990s in the copyrighted pages of Hear Me Roar. Farrar was inspired by Bessie's travels and the challenges she faced and overcame as a black woman riding her Harley around the United States during the pre-civil rights era. In the book, Farrar chronicled how Bessie was ahead of her time in many ways and concluded that Bessie's adventures on two wheels defied both gender and racial barriers. In interviews for major periodicals and for television documentaries, Farrar called Bessie a one-woman civil rights movement. Although she didn't exactly march, she rode and survived through very tough, segregated times and even life-threatening situations. Okay, so Hear Me Roar. So, of course, if you guys want to check out that book, again, I will have a link to it in the description box. Later in life, Bessie suffered from symptoms caused by an enlarged heart. Years ago, the doctor wanted to stop me from riding, she recalled. I told him if I don't ride, I won't live long, and so I never did quit. Bessie Stringfield. She also had pet dogs that she rode around with on her motorcycle, which I just have this amazing image of this black woman, this like old black lady on this motorcycle with these dogs, and I need a movie. So, Hidden Figures. Bessie Stringfield, thank you so much for all of your amazing suggestions. You guys know about so many amazing hidden figures and black women, so yet again, keep them coming. Of course, there will be links in the description box if you guys want to hear more about her or check out that book, Hear Me Roar. Food for thought as always. See you guys tomorrow.